So a lot of you have asked me how I've been able to layer and layer watercolor without the previous colors lifting up and blending everything together. And I think it's because I'm using really expensive 100% cotton paper. And when I say expensive, yeah, it's not cheap, folks. But let's do a test. Let's try this 100% cotton 300 GSM 140 pound paper against your average 90 pound 185 GSM watercolor paper. I'll ink 2 identical test drawings, one on each paper. Then let's add a first pass of color. First on the cheaper Canson paper, and then on the more expensive Arches 100% cotton paper. And now a swath of purple shadow across the bottom half. Okay, and just like on my Gothic vampire background, we're going bluer. That's only 3 layers so far, and already you can see the colors on the cheaper paper are starting to blend, but they're still fairly separate on the cotton paper. And now the real test, Doc Martin concentrated watercolors. I think you can see that the cheaper Canson watercolor paper is starting to lift up and bleed into one another. And I think that's because on the cheaper paper, the pigment sits on top of the paper, whereas on the expensive cotton paper, the watercolor pigment soaks into the cotton and stays.